Welcome to the Squared Up podcast. I'm Monica Daniels, and this is
Bill Swinford.
Bill Swinford. And we are here today to talk about what is going on in the area. And Bill and I have been visiting some new businesses and beloved businesses that have been around for a while. And one of the businesses we did pop in is a little bit of both. The Thornton Sausage Company has opened up again in Herrin, Illinois. It's been a part of the Herrin community for a very long time, and Bill was telling me about his childhood memories going by the sausage company.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And they just recently reopened again on Saturdays and Sundays. They've partnered up with another company out of Mount Vernon for breads. So they're making sandwiches, sausage sandwiches. I bought some for my sons. They loved it. But I think Bill has all of the details on this company because you know the family, right, pretty well that own it.
Yeah, and that was and by the way, that was a great intro into the show. It's the first time you've done that.
Have it a guest that says yes. Love that. That's my favorite thing. I have a question about that. Is this part of the same family with Thornton's Market?
That's it. That's
yeah. That goes.
So 3 generations that I personally have known. I actually don't know how long Thornton's Market has been Thornton's Market, but I knew John the father, John the son, Johnny, who's still with us. He and his wife, Marty, they still, as far as I know, live right next door to the market. But Johnny had to close the market several years ago now, and it's a different time. You know, people are shopping for groceries at box stores, big discount stores, and so on. And so it's a different time. But so we weren't sure that anything would ever come of Thornton's Market. I grew up in that part of Herrin, drove by there all the time with my family, rode my bike by there, walked past there every day after school. We went to Southside and Southside Junior High School and shopped there. I would stop in there after school, buy my Superman comic books and my candy cigarettes. And walk.
Oh, those were the days.
Yeah. Candy cigarettes. Yeah, I remember those.
And walk home from school.
They didn't taste very good, though, right?
No, it was just to try to be
Very
cool.
Very cool.
Very
you had to look tough. You had to look tough in my neighborhood when you're walking home. There's some tough kids along there. Matter of fact, got my first fight walking home from school, not far from Thornton's Market.
My favorite candy memory around that time was the Charleston Chew. And but nobody looked tough eating a or graceful or cool.
Yank it off.
Yeah, it was.
What were those ones? There were the bottles, like the soda bottles that were in wax ones, and they're just filled with sugar water.
Those are kind of gross.
I remember those.
Yeah.
I remember the kids that would get those. Did you get those?
I did get those.
Yeah. Did you chew on that wax?
Yes, the wax to me was the thing I liked most. I didn't really like what was inside. It was the wax.
Yeah, I remember a lot of kids purchasing
just chewing
those.
the wax.
Those were the cool kids.
And we were buying this stuff. In my case, we were buying this stuff at the school concession stand. I bought candy cigarettes at the school concession stand as well as the Thornton.
the bazooka bubble gum with the comics in it. That was pretty.
Yeah.
But maybe Thornton, we stopped by and bought some sausage and checked out what they were doing.
Yeah, so I should have completed that on the Thorntons. The third generation is Chris, John and Marty's son, Chris Thornton, who's actually the director of music at John A. Logan College now, a very talented musician, lived and worked and taught out of the area, came back to the area. But there for a while, even when he was living out of the area, he was on an occasional weekend coming back and opening a kind of like a sausage store there in the old market. And that was good to see, but you just didn't think it would become a very regular thing. And then he came back to the area, and now he's got folks there quite often, actually. We walked in and met a pair that were there, including our guy from Andy from WSIL TV.
Okay.
He's now there working there. It's kind of the butcher.
Wow.
Or the he's helping get all the stuff cooked and out on display. And if you're watching the YouTube version of this, Monica shot some video of the store, and I'm going to lay that over this. I'm going to try to remember to lay that over this.
All right, I'll send it to you.
Oh, there it is,
Yeah.
right there. Okay, right there.
Okay.
He remembered. See,
Good for me.
Good for you,
amazingly.
yeah.
Or if I didn't, I apologize, but I'll try to remember. And so we will share that. And one of the interesting stories they told us, and do you remember the woman's name that you met?
Oh, Elle, I believe. Yeah.
Elle said she was from Centralia, right?
I believe so, or Mount Vernon.
Centralia or Mount Vernon? And,
Sorry, Elle.
and I think it's Centralia because she was
Ellie.
talking. Yeah,
Ellie McClelland.
right. And I think
Yeah.
she was talking about. Because she was talking
She's
about
from that area.
the Carterville Chamber of Commerce the Centralia Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah.
and she's coming here and she wants that. Anyway,
We're really excited. About
yeah, and so she's hoping to get them more involved in the Herrin Chamber of Commerce, and you're the executive director of the Herrin Chamber, so you had a nice conversation about that. But anyway, I had biscuits and gravy with some really spicy sausage that was very good. You had a sandwich that was like a huge bun with sausage inside, or what was
Yeah,
it?
it was with meat inside. It was a very large sandwich. The bread was amazing. It was homemade bread and
Right.
baked with the meat inside of it.
Yeah.
It was really good. And it was
But one of the recipes they apparently have, or some of the recipes they apparently have for the sausage, actually, it's interesting. It actually originated with a different family at a different market. On my side of town, the south east side of town was Thornton's Market. Over there on the west side, kind of the more northwest side on West Monroe Street, growing up was Moochie's Market. And Moochie's Market, kind of an Italian market, and he had some recipes that he used that were kind of top secret, kind of family recipes, I believe. And so
this is all Italian sausage we're talking about. Is that right?
well,
Or is it-
sausages. Yeah.
Sausages? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I figured it was herring.
A lot of different
certainly
recipes.
Has the influence, right?
yeah, certainly Italian sausage would have been the Moochie recipes that so apparently the Thorntons and Moochie, or at least Chris and Moochie, I'm still learning the story. We're going to get to the bottom of this, but before Moochie passed away, they were able to get from Moochie some of these recipes. So
On his
anybody that
deathbed, he called and said, "Hey, you want these recipes?"
or something like that.
Yeah.
But and so if you remember Moochie's Market in Marion, then you'll want to shop too. Moochie Ottolini was the mayor of Herrin from 1977 to 1981. Then he was right before my dad. My dad actually knocked him off, and Moochie didn't get a second term. My dad became mayor of Herrin. But Moochie, I remember, is a really nice guy. Moochie was mayor famously when Ronald Reagan came to town. When Ronald Reagan was on his first campaign trip.
That was that plane ride that flew in?
Yeah,
the area, right? Air Force One?
and he came right down. He came right up 148 past the old Energy Grade School and stopped and gave a campaign speech right in front of Herrin City Hall. There's some great photos of that. You can see Moochie in the background. I'm going to look for that photo. You probably haven't seen that, have you? It's a neat photo because I know how much you love Ronald Reagan.
I do.
It's one of those good ones we need to show, if you get one.
Yeah.
He was a good one.
Yeah, so if I can find that photo, I'll lay that.
Here it is.
I'll put that on. Here it is. If I can't find it, I apologize.
Yeah.
But that was a nice visit to them, and we're gonna keep going back there. And
Yeah, and having, like this artisan sausage shop right there in Herrin. I'm looking forward to helping them get the word out that they're open again. I've already seen a lot of excitement start to develop on social media. What? They're open again? I didn't know that. People going in. So Saturday and Sunday, they're open. You can find them on Facebook. Yeah, pay them a visit.
right.
Yeah.
And so, squared up, of course, we our offices, the Swinford Media Group offices are on the square in Marion. But I grew up in Herrin. I have a big heart for Herrin. We have a newspaper in Herrin that we publish. And so, as we've said from the very beginning of this podcast, we're going to talk about some of the cool things happening, not just in Marion, but in all around the region. And of course, obviously, Herrin is near and dear to both of our hearts. And And we're glad to see that. There was another Herrin thing we were going to talk about today.
The Illinois Cafe. You were telling me memories about the Illinois Cafe.
Yeah.
And the Italians that would drive all the way from St. Louis to Herrin just to eat because the food was so good.
Yeah. They would compare it to, and it would be compared to a restaurant that you would find on the hill and in St. Louis. And so folks that would come down from the Italian Quarter in St. Louis and find, what felt like home to them right there on 14th Street in Herrin. It actually was located in the building that now houses the Herrin House of Hope. And it on one side had a long bar, on the other side had a huge dining room, and we would go there quite often as a family. My family never ate out when I was a kid, but when we would eat out, we would go to the Illinois Cafe, have chili mac or spaghetti, or even they would do fried chicken on Sundays. They have a nice dinner, and it had a couple of different stages and operated under a couple of different names. But the Aldani family, that was the Aldani family that operated that. Paul Aldani, a member of that family, was a teacher at Herrin High School when I was growing up, and I believe it was his parents in the heyday of Illinois Cafe were running that. And I believe, I may have this wrong, I've heard things like Joe Garagiola came and visited, St. Louis Cardinal, and a great from back in the day, way back in the day, and potentially his best friend, who was Yogi Berra, also a St. Louis native. These are the kind of names you'd hear flying around that they came through town. Certainly others. I remember there being some photographs on the wall of some celebrities that had come through there, and so the building's still there today.
Yeah.
And being used in a different way, but it was it's a nice memory. That whole 14th Street sector there, right there on South, would be North 14th Street, not far from Louis P&R Market.
I was just going to say Louis is not far from there, so we still have authentic Italian food available.
I have a question. Is chili mac, that is Italian, right? Because I never heard of chili mac until I moved in the area. Coming from the South.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that they had their first chili mac right here. And sometimes chili mac, sometimes it's chili macaroni, sometimes it's chili spaghetti. It's all called chili mac. But I grew up on chili mac. We had chili mac in school.
So my wife loves chili mac. We go anywhere, and she has to have that. And I'm like, what is chili mac?
Yeah. It's basically spaghetti with chili.
It's kind of like egg foo young. I figured that's maybe the American Italian version or something in Southern Illinois.
There you go. Something like
that. What it is?
Well, maybe one of our viewers can educate us.
Yeah, that'd be good.
The origins of
I'd love
chili.
to know.
Yeah, so again, we'll talk more about the Illinois Cafe too. That is a great memory. And again, it's the Aldani family that operated that in Herrin. It's been gone, the restaurant's been gone now for, gosh, I'd hate to think, 30 plus years, I think. It's a long time. Yeah. But so Herrin, again, having Thornton's sausage
reopening
in that location. Just more the kind of things that we want to see, we like to see happening in our area. Those kind of markets and stores with some character and some characters, and so congratulations to Chris and his whole crew there in making that success so far. All right, I wanted to tell you a story. We didn't talk about this last week, but it did happen last week. There was an amazing story, 2 a.m. a week ago, Monday. So that would have been December the 2nd. There was a woman who is expecting, who called 911. She was driving her car, early morning hours. She was driving her car between Marion and Carterville on the old Route 13, between those two towns. So if you know Old Route 13, you know that Crab Orchard Lake was built over part of Old Route 13. And so if you take Old Route 13 and the parts that you can take from between Marion and Carterville, eventually, if you just keep going, you're going to run right into the lake. And that's exactly what happens. And so she was driving along there, and she lost her brakes. She could not stop. She could not stop her vehicle. She those that saw her later reported that her brake lights were coming on, but there was no stopping happening to the vehicle, and so she was in a bit of a panic. And I don't know if she had the awareness that she was headed right toward the lake or not.
Yeah,
but
that sounds
obviously,
like my nightmares.
Yeah.
I've had nightmares like that before, where you're driving, you can't stop, and you're on a bridge.
And she was frantic. And so on our WFCN page, Aaron Price put together a report about this, and you can watch dash cam video from Williamson County Sheriff's deputies' squad cars, and you can hear the 911 call laid over the top of it. Her frantic. And anyway, the heroic act of the deputies was, and the very smart act of the deputies, when they were able to get to her and catch up to her, and what great response time that they were able to catch up to her, and they were able to surround her, and essentially one of them got right in front of her as they're flying along, well over 30 miles an hour, I guess, and basically just let her rear end him, and then he slowed down enough so that she rear-ended him, and then he slowly braked the cars to bring them both to a stop. And then the other car back there was kind of like, making sure she didn't like swerve away, and so on this 911 call, this poor woman is, she's frantic that she can't stop, and then she's frantic.
She doesn't want to hit the officer, right?
That she hit this cop, and then she thinks she's in trouble for hitting the cop. And you could hear the woman, the 911 dispatcher, did a great job just calming her down. Saying, no, this is what we want to happen. This is what we have. You're fine. You're fine. And they brought it to a stop. So
that's a great story. That is a really good story.
We're trying to work an interview with the woman. The woman's a little shy about it all. I don't think she's necessarily wanted to talk much about it. But obviously, we'd like to honor these deputies for their quick actions and do more of a story.
And
so
that could that could happen to anybody. Could you imagine if you're on a highway or something and you have a road like that, you're going to go into a lake. What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
And could you imagine if she couldn't stop and she went into the lake? That would be a tragedy. So that's, can't put a dollar amount on that.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
that is incredible work, and we do appreciate it. A couple other things from last week's papers that we didn't mention. The Williamson County leadership has officially been sworn in for this next term. Up for re-election was Jim Marlowe, County Commissioner, and new to office now is Dave McReynolds of Wilson McReynolds Funeral Home. He's now our county coroner, and the other newbie in the county government is Kristen Bayer, an old friend of mine who's now our circuit clerk, and she decided to go for that position as it was open, and she was elected. And nice. Congratulations to all of them as they take on what is growing and growing. When you think about Williamson County government basically controls, the property taxes is kind of their thing, and they were in the news not that long ago over property tax hikes and things. But for the most part, what they are regulating is the unincorporated areas of the county, areas that are outside of municipalities and city limits. So you've got all the city governments handling, and then you got the counties handling county roads and county businesses paying that have no one to pay sales tax to other than the county, and all of these types of places. And so, but in Williamson County itself, that responsibility is growing because you have places that are outside incorporated limits, such as Walker's Bluff, for instance.
That's a very big one. Yeah.
That is changed obviously with their sales tax and the revenue they're going to bring to the county. That's a game changer for Williamson County, and very, very exciting for them, and things that they can do to improve the county and maybe hopefully help see these property taxes go down for everybody. But at this point in time, there's a lot of infrastructure needs toward entities like that and other industry that are that are outside of city limits. And so they have their work cut out for them. There are 3 commissioners, Jim Marlowe being one, Tim Atchison being another, and the third is Jim Razor, the former WSIL.
We know well.
Yeah, meteorologist. and I've asked Jim before. I've said, Jim, so how do you feel about your move into county government? And he had kind of, I think every single day, he has mixed feelings about it because, he could be just fully retired, but instead he decided to go into public service. But it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, and I think he's doing a good job.
He's a great guy. Very honest. Very wonderful.
He is a great guy. So, hey, we just had a birthday party in the family yesterday.
Yeah.
That we got to celebrate.
That's right.
My son Ross turned 22.
Wow.
Ross works with us in the Swinford Media Group, and we all got together, went out to eat, and then we came back to the house and had some cake. And happy birthday, Ross! Ross,
Happy birthday, Ross. Yeah.
so many of the things, including our other podcast, which is called Coaches of Crown Brew Getting Coffee. A lot of our live stream action, a lot of the graphics you see, even the graphics you see on this podcast, were created by Ross, and if not Ross, his girlfriend Abbie Cullum. Very talented duo. She's a photographer and also something of an artist. And we would not, the Swinford Media Group would not look the same. Our logos, everything we are, the nameplates that pop up when we're talking on this podcast, all of this stuff is designed and created by Ross, and he gives us a very professional look.
Oh, yeah.
He does a great job.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's really gifted. Him and Abbie both are really gifted at this.
But this leads me to say that we are doing these live streams that Ross is kind of making happen for Black Diamond Harley Davidson family businesses, that 12 days of giveaways. We mentioned it a couple of times on here. And the other day, we brought Tom Mann into the experience at Black Diamond Harley Davidson at the dealership itself.
I got to wear a leather jacket.
Yeah,
and I got to wear
great.
glasses and look like a biker, even though I'm, I ride a tricycle. Real tricycle, not trike. But
You could have fooled me, man. You look so tough in that stuff.
Definitely looked the part.
except when Shad showed up. Shad
is the epitome, right?
Harley.
And he and Shad, one of the owners of the Black Diamond family. Of course, the Black Diamond family of businesses now is involved in the Oasis development right there around the former mall. So many new stores popping up, and they are making all of that happen. They are then creating the sports tourism industry that we're going to have, that includes the new soccer and ball fields that they're building out near the pavilion, that even starting as early as next year should start drawing in a lot of tourism into the industry. And then they are going to be creating more and more for those families as they come into town to do and to experience, and to places to go shopping, places to go have fun, indoor golf, that kind of experience, outdoor golf at Cocopelli. We've done a 12 days giveaway there where we gave away a membership at Cocopelli. They've got stores. We gave away a 75-inch television already. They've got motorsports, gave away a Kawasaki. They're going to give away a beautiful Harley here in a couple of weeks. And so we're live streaming these out.
And the donuts, don't forget about that.
Krispy
What is
Kreme
it,
donuts.
52 weeks of donuts?
52 weeks.
52,
a dozen donuts a week for 52 weeks.
Right.
And I think Chad was talking about, can you get it all in one lump? Like if you wanted, they said, yes, you could.
Yeah.
So you could do it for
You would be
a party or group.
You
or
would definitely
something,
be one lump if you bought all those donuts at one time. One big lump. That family of businesses is doing a lot of good, and there's a lot of excitement around this contest. And you can enter at any of these stores, and then as long as you enter one day, the next day you'll be in the drawing. And so we do it over 12 days. We're doing 3 more this week, and you can follow all of this at gothrillville.com. And you can also follow this on the Thrillville social media. Black Diamond social media, our social media, Swinford Media Group, Marion Star, WFCN, any of these places you can find all these details.
Has
about
anyone won the $500 yet for being
I
at the
don't,
location?
that's a good question. I don't know. That's the other part of it is if you're actually at one of these locations and you've entered and we draw your name and you're there or at one of the other stores because we're live streaming it to all the stores every time we draw, you'll get another $500 plus the gift, plus the prize.
Sounds like my name's floating around in that little turn.
That's right. That's right. And nobody knows for sure if
I want to
Monica.
win.
Nobody knows for sure if Monica can win. Yeah. We'll find
Tom
that
did
out.
it too. Tom did it. Put it in there, so they're going to take that one out.
We don't know. Nobody's read the fine print of this contest. We were very involved in making it happen. I haven't.
Maybe they'll give me a dozen donuts. That's what they'll do. They'll give us a dozen donuts. That's what we'll
Your
get.
consolation prize.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I brought that up because Ross, my man Ross, my son who just turned 22, we did one of these on Saturday, and Tom was there. And I don't even know if you know this, Tom, but right about the time we were going to begin the 30-minute countdown, Ross said, "I'm missing half of my equipment." He had somehow felt like he had left half of his equipment at the office. Well, we are about 15 minutes, our office in the downtown Marion, especially on a busy Saturday, it takes about 15 minutes to get from there out to Black Diamond Harley Davidson. And I was going to be taking over the mechanics of the stream right when it started because Ross then had to go on to do something else. And so I said, okay, I got to go. And the other piece of this is my phone, our phones, we use iPhones, and our iPhones come into play in our live streams because we use a lot of Apple equipment, including iPads, and they all kind of connect to each other, connecting them to a Canon camera. And it's quite a setup that Ross has made, but I had to leave my phone there for him to include in that. So I just jump in my van and I go back to my office, and I'm like running lights, and I'm like, dodging police, and I'm just flying through town and jumping tracks. And
I thought he was slacking off just to show up late.
No, I was the first one there. I was the first one there, but I flew out of there, and I was like the Dukes of Hazzard driving through town, and I got back to the office, and I'm like, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. He said it was all on this table getting charged. Nothing was there, and so then I was like, okay, well, the stuff that is here, I'm throwing it all in a bag in case it's helpful, and I'm throwing it all in there, and then I thought, okay, I'll use the office phone and I'll call my phone because I couldn't remember Ross's. I don't have my son. I don't have any of my kids' phone numbers memorized.
None of us do.
No, they're all on my phone.
Right.
So I used the office phone to call my phone, and got him on the phone, and he told me to get something else, because he realized he'd forgotten something else, and so I got something else. But that other stuff's not here. And he's like, "Oh no!" And I was like, "I'm bringing all this stuff back. We're gonna find a way to make it work." And so I jump in the car and I'm flying. I'm jumping tracks. People are running off the road. Old ladies crying and children screaming. And I got pulled. I squealed into the parking lot and go running in. And I never run, but I went running in. And Ross said, "Hey, I found all that stuff."
Oops.
And my heart, and then I had to run the stream, which he normally does, and I don't do, and it's a very high pressure situation.
Hey, you got the name keys right and everything.
Kind of.
And nobody knew, right?
Nobody knew, no.
Nobody knew.
That's good.
Now they know.
Except for you.
Now they know.
Except the
Now they
people
know.
standing up there talking at it with like deer in the headlights. What?
No, you guys were great. Monica was on there.
Monica
Tom
was
on
there half the time, and then Monica took off and left on the second part.
Yeah, she
She
got
bailed on me there somewhere. Monica was gone. I was like,
I told her to get back in there. She said, "No, they're fine." We're talking to Shad. Got to meet Angry Tony.
yeah, Tony, he's a great guy.
He's
Tall
so
dude.
kind, not angry at all.
Kind and tall.
Yeah.
Good guy though.
He's a big
It's nice working with Denny again. She's really great.
Denny, Cowboy Denny.
Yeah,
Denny's
yeah, he's
Denny's
nice.
the MC out at Rentland Park.
And he's very
and
fun.
he's really good at it. And so what a great bunch. Herbie Voss, marketing director, who's we're working most closely with.
Yeah.
But all of them are a great group of guys.
They are.
Okay, we've got one more thing to talk about, and that is our thing that I started last week.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're excited about this.
We're excited.
Listen, we're all excited about this.
I'm so excited.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I knew you guys would be, so that's
Yeah.
why I started.
Yeah, right.
That's why I created this without you. What we're doing is we're giving you the opportunity to tell us your favorite Christmas song. And we are going to, at our last show, it'll be our Christmas special. You know, like Bing Crosby used to have a Christmas special. Yeah. Bob Hope.
So it's got to be near like that one. I guarantee you that.
Yeah. It's Perry Como probably had a Christmas special.
Nat King Cole. That
Nat
goes
King
way
Cole.
back,
These are
yeah.
people that lived a long time ago. Anyway, we're going to do a Christmas special, and we're also going to have music. And we are going to sing for you your favorite Christmas song. Now, maybe it's not your favorite Christmas song, but we're going to take a vote. And we're asking for nominees, and then we're going to create a poll out of those nominees and let all of our followers, on all of our pages, vote on what song they would like to hear the three of us sing to put you, listen, you might get all the way up to the day, a few days before Christmas, and still not be in the Christmas mood. You know, it's tough because there's a lot, it's hurry and scurry and shopping and pressure and all of that, and you forget the true meaning of Christmas. We're gonna help you get into the Christmas mood once and for all.
Yeah.
By singing a song.
Yeah, and we've already had, like one of our good friends we were discussing before this, maybe trying to sabotage us by giving us something that is very
I'm not
difficult to
assuming
do.
that. I'm assuming that he's very sincere in wanting that this is really one of his favorite songs. Matter of fact,
It may be, but he's
we'll
like,
go ahead and call him out.
do it.
That good friend Tom Harness has nominated. He's actually nominated. We didn't tell you you could do this, but we'll let you do this. He nominated 2 Christmas songs. Okay, and they are something called Mamacita, which I don't know. Mamacita.
See that one I can tell that has like a trip bump in it to make something happen. I can tell.
It sounds familiar.
Mamacita, and then the other one, Dominic the Donkey. And now, Dominic
I'm
the
real
Donkey.
familiar with all these.
Yes, Dominic the Donkey is kind of an Italian
Donkey
fun song.
Yeah.
Maybe similar to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but Italian and a donkey.
So, Monica, you should do that one as a solo since you're now like the Herrin Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, yes,
You know what I
right.
mean?
No, in honor of our Italian
for
heritage
Herrin
and
Fest,
Herrin.
and think about that.
I wouldn't say solo, but
Yeah.
I'll wear.
We'll hum along with
So
you.
low that nobody hears it.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
that's a good idea. Well, I'll think
Thank
about
you for
that
that.
one too. Yeah,
You just
we're
saved
taking
me.
that to heart.
But so Dominic the Donkey is the one song so far that has multiple nominations, and so it is leading the way. Our friend Roger Lipe, we've mentioned Roger Lipe on here before. He's a good follower. He says, "Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Please."
Now, see that one I can get. That one, that's one of the ones because I won't butcher it. I don't want to be disrespectful. You know what I mean? It's like these ones that are really.
I don't think you can. I don't think you really can butcher that song. I mean,
that's a good one right there.
It's disrespectful just from the beginning. Okay, now listen to this. Here's a few more. Okay, we have a follower named Sherry who also nominated Dominic the Donkey. She also nominated something called Shadrach the Black Reindeer.
I have actually heard that one. Again, that's one of those. You're kidding. You know.
I've never heard that song before.
I don't know.
all
I
new to me.
heard that song. I don't know what that's going to be about. Shadrach the
I got to look
Black
at it, but I've heard that.
And then, of course, "Baby, Please Come Home." Yeah, it's Christmas, "Baby, Please Come Home." That's a classic. That's one of those wall of sound songs from the '60s. Who is that woman that sang that? She used to sing it on the Letterman show every year. Christmas.
See, Bill needs to do the lead. We can do the background vocals.
So nobody has suggested the Mariah Carey song.
Hang in
right?
there. Hang in there.
No.
Let me see.
All I want for Christmas.
I don't think so. Baby, yeah, no, but this is the same idea. "Baby, Please Come Home." Tammy Howell nominates "Mary, Did You Know?" Okay.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's
a good
one of
one,
those
yeah.
ones, but I try not to butcher it. But
I've
you guys
actually
are good.
sung "Mary, Did You Know" in
Wow,
church
see?
before.
Have you? Yeah.
They don't let me
Nobody
sing in
ever-
church ever. I can talk.
Well,
but they won't
nobody
let
ever
me
asked me
sing.
to sing it again. I'll say that. But
Was it a solo? Did you sing it as a solo?
solo?
Yeah.
I sang a solo.
Cool.
I kind of volunteered myself to sing it. This is a long time ago when I had more more confidence in my singing ability.
You're pretty confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I used to have even more confidence in my singing ability.
Somebody knows.
How about this? Oh, Holy Night.
There you go.
Oh, I could hear you singing that.
Yeah, that's
a classic.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yes. So
I'll do anything
That could get 'em.
whatever's most popular. I'd be Dominic the donkey. Here we come.
I'm
ready.
I gotta prepare for that one.
I'll get those hee-haws down. Those, because that's a lot. There's a lot of hee-hawing in the song, I think.
Yeah,
So I haven't
think
checked. I'm sure we've got other nominations by now. I haven't checked here the last couple of days. We'll keep throwing these out there as ideas. Linda Pretty, Mary's Little Boy Child. That's kind of a classic, classic old spiritual Christmas song. Mary's Little Boy Child.
Okay.
And so all of these are in there.
It's all started because of Bill, his idea.
Hey, and listen, if the demand is there, we could sing more than one.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, that'll be
You're
great.
not so confident in your singing ability.
I used to be confident in my singing abilities. It's back when I would sing in front of people.
Yeah.
Anymore, I'm just kind of a shy, quiet boy.
I'm a drummer, and I've done the little drummer boy parts before. I could bring a drum and just bang on it back here.
Well, please plan on doing that.
I don't have a drum anymore. I sold that for all the video and audio gear that I got.
We actually have a drum at the office. Our friend John keeps a set of drums at the office.
That's true.
So
He'll just borrow John Shadowland's
We could bring that
drums
right
and
to the
bring 'em.
studio. Yeah.
He won't mind.
Yeah. So keep those nominations coming. So here's how you do it. You can jump on the link of this if you're watching it. You can jump on our social media and find the link where the links are shared for this episode and nominate there. Anything that you see, you go. How about just go to the Squared Up Facebook page and you can just post something right on there. Just throw these nominations at us. We're gonna take another week or two, collect these nominations, and then we'll create a poll and let the public will get what they want. And
No, they won't.
And
Sure they will. Well,
They're going to get something.
look at something.
What they want.
not necessarily
Something
what
to laugh at.
No, that's true. I mean, yeah, they'll
That's
want
really what they want, or what
they'll
they
want a-
need.
they'll
or
want a song that's
maybe a
performed
good laugh.
well.
Laughter is good for the soul.
Right.
Yeah,
a
that's
good
true.
laugh.
There we go. Laughter is good for the
Laughter
soul.
is good for the soul.
We'll
So.
put a disclaimer at the bottom. So we'll do that.
Disclaimer
Swinford
never
Media Group
hurts.
is not responsible for this. It's
So, hey, listen, as you all are out there getting ready for Christmas, and I know everybody's busy and pulling things together, just take time out and find some ways to bring some of the true meaning of Christmas in. We are having our children's Christmas program that I'm looking forward to at Pleasant Grove Church next Sunday.
They're cute little.
Yeah, that'd be the 15th in the evening, 6 p.m. Everybody's welcome to that. But those are the kind of things you don't want to miss. You don't want to find those. You want to find those children's programs.
Special things, yeah.
Yeah, or family times together. So many great traditions in so many families, and we look forward to those in our own and seeing ours. But in the meantime, we'll still be back here with you a couple of times before Christmas, and we'll have that Christmas special. What else are we going to do on the Christmas special? You going to give a recipe or something? You gonna teach us how to
maybe I'll give a recipe.
give a recipe?
We'll come up with some other.
Tell about our favorite memories or
Favorite memories?
That's a good
or
one.
strange Christmases or awkward
favorite
times.
favorite gifts.
there we
We could
go.
go through. Do you remember some of those? My cousins got the wrestle guys at
Oh, Sock'em, Rock'em
Sock'em.
Sock'ems is what
Yeah,
they
they
were
would
called?
push
Yeah.
on it, and then they
Yeah,
like.
okay,
And
yeah.
I didn't get one because I wasn't a boy, but I was allowed to jump in with my cousins and play.
I've got some
Girls
favorite-
don't
Yeah.
have Rock'em Sock'ems, do they?
No, but I just still jump in there and play with them. And I had the Sunshine Family. That was my
Are
one of my
they
big
were they
gifts.
like little people figures?
Yeah, they were like bigger They weren't
Barbie type of?
They were a type of Barbie, but it was called the Sunshine Family instead.
Okay.
And the Weeble people.
Oh, Weebles, yeah, Weebles and Wobbles that don't fall
Yeah,
down.
they don't.
I had a whole Weeble Wobble.
Were you into
community.
Romper Room? Was that your thing?
I was.
You were-
Well, my name was never called through the mirror
Oh,
in the
oh,
romper.
never. Okay.
Talking about the TV show, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Romper Room. You know, she'd do the I see Bill.
We're all of the generation of Romper Room, Captain Kangaroo.
That was Captain
Captain
Kangaroo's big.
Kangaroo.
I'm a little older, but then also
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. He was my hero, and
Still
then
is.
and Captain Kangaroo, Mr. Moose, loved him, and Mr.
Never seen
Rogers. And then I remember the very first Sesame Street. And
Yeah.
watching that, I was at my grandmother's house in Omaha, Nebraska. So the very first one, and there's a little girl there, probably about your age, Monica. No, she would have been. You wouldn't have been born. Yeah, you might have been born at the time. And I just remember her. She couldn't say the word.
Let's talk about how old Monica is.
She couldn't say
Let's
the
see, let's
word
count it
Sesame
backward.
Street. She said Sesame Tweet, and she kept singing the song with the word tweet.
Oh, yeah. No,
And I was
Monica,
confused for a while on that.
Monica was not yet born when
No,
Sesame
that's
Street
true.
debuted.
is it-
You
is it
had
It was 1969.
Yeah,
Okay.
you had 3 years
Yeah.
before you came along. I, however, was born. I can't say that I remember watching it, but I do know that from the get-go, my brother and I were watching it. There's a picture of my brother and I pretty quickly got Ernie and Bert puppets, and there's a picture of
I had a Cookie
us.
Monster one. He was my
Yeah,
favorite.
yeah,
And
those-
Oscar.
yeah, those were all over the place.
Man, wow.
And I can. There's a picture of us at our house that we moved out of in the early '70s when we're doing a little Ernie and Bert puppet show. So I know we were very much into Sesame Street back in the day, and had old Sesame Street record and
Yeah.
yeah. So great memories, childhood memories, and of course Christmas is all about that.
Yeah.
Childhood memories, trying to recapture some of that spark, that magic that you experienced. Mentioned in church yesterday, Monica and I are working our way through the Christmas Story movie. We haven't seen a Christmas Story in a while.
In a
We're-
long time.
And
Really?
We've seen it, but it's been a while.
yeah, and no, it's been a long time, and so we are we got about halfway through it. We're just the way our lives are right now. We're like, if we can find 15 minutes to sit down and watch a piece of a movie, we do it, and then we just we no longer rent them on Amazon on Prime.
Just go ahead
You
and
have to
buy
buy
them.
Right, you have to buy them because
Might
they
as well.
expire every time before we can get to
Cost you more money to rent them. So.
Yeah.
It's like, other people are going to want to watch this, so
Right.
I might as well just buy it.
Right.
But
And as you get older, you forget that you watched it. That's my wife and our problem. It's like, did we see
But-
that one? Yeah.
Well, that's
100
it.
times.
That's just it. We can watch shows with each other that we've watched. Like I watched an entire series, and then I got to show it to her, and it's like watching it for the first time. It only been like 3 years.
Yeah, that's me.
I watched it.
I'm the worst at that.
yeah. But no, the Christmas Story though had a lot of our childhood memories in there, even though it was set a little bit before our time, like getting so bundled up that you can't even put your arms down. I remember that. And
And we talked about sticking
Sticking
the
your
tongue.
tongue.
Gum,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah,
just
yeah,
such
yeah.
a classic. It's so funny.
Yeah. So we're trying to
cursive on the chalkboard.
yeah. Good old.
We don't see that anymore.
No. It's those classroom scenes are great. The school building, the three story old school building that they go to. A lot of memories. I was talking about that school I grew up going to near Thornton's Market. Looked just like that old school building in A Christmas Story. Anyway, enough about how old we are. We will be back with more from the Swinford Media Group in another week. Tom Mann, thanks as always.
No problem. It's been fun.
And Tom, thanks for jumping on our 12-day stream. We're going to do that again sometime soon. You're so good at that. You're so polished
I
at
don't know
that.
about that.
And you look great in your Harley jacket. And it's neat.
Bring the Harley
It's
jacket.
neat to have you as part of the team. Monica, you're always great.
Yeah.
And I have no confidence in my singing anymore.
We do.
But
You're a great
but
singer.
you'll get to hear it anyway.
You have a beautiful
real
voice.
soon. So keep those nominations coming, and we appreciate you. Check out the Marion Star, Herrin Independent, and Carterville Courier when they hit the stands this week, and we'll see you again. See you again soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.